Good afternoon. My name is Tunisia As-Salahuddin, and most people know that I'm in the business of holistic medicine and holistic practice, and developing products that are going to be launched into the holistic realm within healthcare. I'm going to get off of the holistic thing right now and talk a little bit more about who I am and who my family is. Um, People say, well, who is your family and where do you come from? And I've been asked several times, and I talk to people about my family and my family lineage. I am the descendant of Elijah Muhammad of the Nation of Islam and Clara Evans Muhammad, known as Clara Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad's wife of the Nation of Islam. Um, a little bit about my parents. My father's name is Masur As-Salahuddin, and my mother's name is Faye As-Salahuddin, formerly Faye Lin Young. Um, my father, when he first came to California, his mother was a migrant farm worker from Texas area. And my father came to California with singer Charlie Wilson, and they were little boys. They are all cousins. Charlie Wilson, um, former Mayor Willie Brown of San Francisco, and a few others. I believe it was the Pointer Sisters who had also come to California with my father. Now, my father's family, which is the Evans family and the Jones, he also came to California with his brother Jimmy Porter, which is Kim Rochelle's family of KRPR Media, and his brother Clifford Ray Evans, who was a Navy SEALs Purple Heart. I believe he was a commander or either a sergeant. He was a trainer in the Navy SEALs. My uncle James Vernon, and then one other uncle, I believe he didn't make it to California. He died in the Air Force and in battle. But however, oh, and also my aunt Mary Callahan, formerly Mary Evans, and my aunt Wendy Baker. They all came to California together with their mother, who was a migrant farm worker from Texas, Oklahoma area. But however, I have an extensive family within the industry as far as it goes when it comes to music and when it comes to entertainment. Charlie Wilson, Willie Brown, Chris Brown, Danny Brown, Tyler Perry. That's over Elijah Muhammad's. They're the Pools. But I'm gonna get a little bit more off into the Rahman family. Who else? Rapper E40, Russell Simmons, REV.Run, Fantasia, Jodeci, Casey and JoJo, Faith Evans, Lonnie from the group War, the singer Prince, who really marketed his whole image after our great grandfather Prince Abdul Rahman, the Rahmans of Malaysia, Africa, India, T.I. and Tiny, Kendria Moore, Chance the Rapper, and Judge Poole, and a whole lot, many more people. And if you had watched the last series of tapings of um, not Tyler, excuse me, of Arsenio Hall show, you would have seen many of my family members' descendants on the show, the tapings, and it was a great thing how Kim Rochelle was able to, with Arsenio Hall and the producers, to bring on that show many of the family members or bloodline descendants of Elijah Muhammad and Clara Evans Muhammad. Also, one reason I say that Elijah Muhammad and Clara Evans Muhammad were able to marry is because they were both of royal bloodline. Clara Evans was the descendant of Prince Abdul Rahman, and Elijah Muhammad was descendant of the Rahmans of Malaysia. So, within that, knowing how royals marry into one another, they were able to marry one because he loved her, and two is because of the bloodline connection. So, and say, well, your family, this and that. It doesn't make a difference about our family as far as the bloodline goes or as far as the royalty goes. There's certain things that we were able to do and certain things we weren't able to do growing up. But still, all in all, we were always expected to do something more in life to be able to reach back and grab our family and also to help our community. And within our family lineage, if we didn't do what we were supposed to do or called to do within inside of us, they really got on us a little bit more than they did the average person. So I always said when I got my call to do what I'm supposed to do, and the call isn't like a phone call. They don't do that. It's something within our system and who we are. We know that we're supposed to do more when it comes to our lives and our community as far as reaching back. Um, Also, I would say is that our families, they marry sort of strange in some ways, but at the same time we don't. The men are sort of really tough on the women as far as what man we marry and who we bring into the family and our family lineage and stuff. And we have all kinds like everybody else. We got the drug addicts and we got the millionaires and billionaires. So it doesn't make it really doesn't make a difference as far as. But when they look at us, the higher ones look at us and our conduct, they really get on us a little bit tougher to make sure that we do what we're supposed to do. I can recall growing up as a child, my dad never really allowing us to have sleepovers or go over other people's houses and sleep because they always would tell us, you don't do that type of stuff. You're not like them, and they not like you, and they do things a little bit different in some aspects. Um, I also want to say hi to Mayweather and his family, who is also within my blood family and my blood lineage. And when we're young, we are told who we are and who our family is, and we're part of the Rahman family, and like A.R. Rahman. He's also part of our family lineage. And then you have Michael Jackson and his family on his daddy's side, I believe it is. That's part of our family lineage. They are Rahmans, the descendants of Prince Abdul Rahman. And I think that's one reason why Michael Jackson reached out to AR is because that's part of our family lineage. And I guess it was a good fit, and we understand certain aspects as we grow older of society and our family and who we're supposed to be. And some people want to say, oh, you're blue bloods. Well, yeah, in a sense, we are blue bloods, but just don't assume just because we're blue bloods, we're born with a silver spoon. We got to hustle and work for that silver spoon, and certain doors are always left open to us because it was written up like that. Elijah Muhammad worked hard to sort of guard and protect his family in certain aspects as far as entertainment. That door is always going to be open to us all the way to India, to Africa, and to the United States and to Asia because it was written up for us to have always a way of making a living and be able to take care of ourselves. On my mother's side, she's a Pearson and she's a Spigler, and the Spiglers are connected to the Selassies and they're also connected to the Rockefellers. So now you're knowing that more about the United history was created and built up by a lot of Hebrews and African Americans and also people of Asiatic descent or nationality versus having that thought in your head or being misinformed in school that United States society was created and built only by Caucasians. It was built off of Moor systems, and a lot of the Rockmen, the Selassies, and the Hebrews were Moors. You hear of the Pearson family. My family, which are Pearsons, were funeral parlor owners, morticians, and authors and educated people. My Aunt Alice, who passed on, she was a Spigler and she was a Pearson. And they always were into education, funeral parlors, baroness system, keeping track, and also education and finances as far as money goes. So when you study the system and you study about the building and creating of the United States, you read more and do more research, and you find out about um, the like Spelman University, which was created by a group of Rockefeller women. The Rockefeller women were connected to the Spiglers, and also the Spiglers were connected to the which Richard the Lionheart all the way to England, and a lot of people don't know that as far as the history goes. It wasn't just created by Caucasian white people, and when the Pilgrims came to the United States, the Pilgrims were more of a black or mulatto race versus just being Caucasian, as you assumed or you thought. So, for those who don't know the history of the United States, it's good to know who your family is, and it's good to know uh, how you're connected to certain systems and certain uh, infrastructures within the United States. I want to say to my family on both sides, I don't know, it's like someone initiated me to be the spokesperson for my daddy's family, and to try to keep us together because our family is so large. We have a lot of us in Sacramento, all the way to Atlanta, Georgia, Oklahoma, and to DC, all over the United States, all over the world, especially the Rahman family. They call us the people of the prayers, or priesthood, the real priesthood family. And then within our family, there are a lot of priests and a lot of pastors and ministers and so forth. And you have to, and it's like we get somewhat of a calling into that, and that's how we get on the stage as per se. And our family is of a royal priesthood, a royal bloodline. Like I said, on my grandfather's side of the Spiglers are descendants of Richard the Lionheart, who was the king of England, and and the Pearsons and the Rockefellers and the Selassies. My Aunt Alice and them, they used to walk around with the Moore caps on their heads. My mom gave us ours when we were little girls. And she just looked at me. She said, "You just a cute little pretty old black little Moore. You're just a little black little Moore." And I thought, I was so upset because she gave me that cap and she told me and my sister to put the cap on your head. And I sat there and I was just folding my arms and I was mad. I sat there for a minute and I said, "I don't wear this old stupid cap on my head." But she had to explain some things to me about being a Moor. And my dad explained to us about the dollar bill and the money and the pyramid. And he explained things to it. And I remember he explained things to us when we were 3 years old in regards to who my great grandfather was, Prince Abdul Rahman, and my family. And he explained to us about the dollar. And then he showed me a flashlight with the light. And he said, "And remember this, the flashlight and the light." So he was basically telling me, don't forget about your money and don't forget about who you are, and remember to seek the light and always seek the knowledge. And then there's something else that, oh yeah, and he gave me my watch, which came from Casio. And in many people who don't know about the Rahman and the Rahman family, we're connected to a Magi system, and those who are descendants of the Malaysian Rahman know about the Magi system, and we know about the baby G. And Elijah Muhammad spoke about baby G. He said that was his mother, and I'm sure it was the name he gave his mother, but it's also a system and an order that many of us Rahman know and we live by. So I just want to say to everyone out there who has may watch this video, you know more about who our family is and why so many of us on stage. And I want to say blessings to Faith Evans of Bad Boys Records. And I want to say you're one reason why Sean Combs is still around is because of you, Faith Evans. Remember that you got a lot of power in that industry. Use it wisely and use it well. And Mayweather, I'll be sending you a pillow soon.